Mitram and Bandhuvam, friends, welcome to South Asia Maps, Intellectual Kshatriya's education channel. This is your presenter J. Reddy. At South Asia Maps, I will bring you the fascinating facets of Indic culture, heritage, history, geography in the form of maps, icons, images. That is iconographic representation of abstract ideas in an intuitive, imaginative. And because I have varied interest and research in many topics, and I will also be presenting other non-Indic related general topics for my audience, intellectual enjoyment and understanding. I have opened a playlist in my YouTube channel. This is my main YouTube channel. There are more than 100, 210 or so presentations meticulously made, immaculately drawn, redrawn maps for your intellectual sojourn. You can go and look at them. These are the playlist. I will be putting this particular playlist under human ecology playlist. There are nearly 20 or so playlists of varied topics on our YouTube channel. If you're only interested on human ecology, how humans interact on the planet Earth, and what is going to happen to humans, you can go and look at that particular playlist, and this is the main channel. And most of the work is from the basic ideas come from the works of Dr. Catton, William Catton Jr. He is pioneering books Overshoot and Bottleneck. Dr. Catton is a very great thinker and analyzed the human dilemma, human impasse, human predicament in a simple ecological terms. And I have read his book. This is the Overshoot book for many times, and I have taken these some of the concepts and put them in the form of icons and maps for my audience. Today the topic of discussion is very interesting. Lincoln to Biden. At the time of, this is the part 13, that is human ecology predicament, Dr. Catton. Lincoln to Biden. Lincoln was the 16th president of United States of America, assassinated around about 1865. At that time, 35 million people lived in the United States. Very easy to remember. You have 1865, that means few years after First War of Independence in India. 1865 means add 35, that becomes 1900. So just stop there and say the rest is easy to remember, broad, 35 million. Now, this is recorded around about 2022 July. There are 340 or 30 million people in the United States of America. I made it broad, 350. At that time, the people lived in the America are Homo sapiens, just normal human beings. This is the Homo sapiens, the biological name for humans. This is the New World. This is North America. The red block is United States of America. This Central America and Latin America. Homo colossus is a euphemistic name for a giant human being. Colossus, resource consuming, resource prodigal. That's what it is. And I talked about what is Homo colossus, Homo sapiens in part 5, the gigantic human, a resource prodigal, normal human, Homo sapiens, a subsistence human, living a simple agricultural lifestyle. So you can go and look at them for detail. For our purpose, this is enough to say. And 35 million to 350 million Homo sapiens to Homo colossus from Lincoln to Biden. Why we are only singling out United States? This is very important. In modern times, most of the world, other part of the planet, they're mostly westernized or Europeanized. American mannerisms, American culture, technology is for other regions is sought to be good, so you have to know about it very well, and that's the where most resources are consumed. That's why I am bringing this different facet perspective for my audience. Lincoln to Biden, 35 million Homo sapiens to 350 million Homo colossus. And here you can see Europeans landed in North America. The young nation of United States, around about 14 colonies or so, declared independence in this area. At that time, the population of European white settlers is around about 3 million or so. That happened 1776. 1860, that is 4 or 5 years before the assassination of Lincoln, there is 31 million. Lincoln assassinated 65, second term early in his office. 1865 means 35. 331 I made it. And remember, the next jump in population is the World War. Immediately after the World War ended, in in Woodrow Wilson's time, the population of United States 100 million. That is the World War end. Then, in 1930, the global recession started. Stock markets failed in the United States, and Roosevelt was preparing for his contest, and Hitler was preparing for his contest in Germany. 1930, how many people lived in the United States? Easy to remember, 1, 2, 3. Because it's 30s, 1, 2, 3. Then the World War ended, then 150 million people lived in the United States. Very easy to remember. World War I ended, 100 million. World War II ended, 150. This is at the time of Truman, president who succeeded Roosevelt. Roosevelt passed 1945 or so. 150. Then, this is the time of when I think the Nixon started his office. I'm not sure exactly, the Nixon. Anyway, Nixon, Lyndon Johnson before, after Kennedy's assassination in 63 or so. Nixon started 200. Remember, Nixon 200. Now, 2008, when Obama was almost to start his office, 300 million. So, now, Joe Biden, now we have 330 million people on the planet in the United States of America. Lot of people use the world paradigm. What is that world paradigm? I will show you, talk about. Say, India has 3.2 million square kilometers. Again, easy to remember. Entire planet Earth 510, among which 360, the number of days in a year, is water. Almost half of it, 150, is the land. Egypt is exactly 1 million square kilometers. You can fit 150 Egypts in the land area of the planet Earth. India, if you include the Pakistan, Bangladesh, erstwhile territories, there is a 4 million square kilometers. India is 3.2 million. It has 1500 million people now. America is around about 10 million square kilometers, 350 million people. The world paradigm, lot of people think 350 million people divided by 10 million, that means the density of population, the United States is 35. Whereas in India, if you divide 1500 by 3, around about 500 people live. For square kilometers. 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer, all sides, square kilometer. 500 India, 35 United States. That's a old paradigm, outdated model. Always consider about the resource consumption. That's what Dr. Catton says. Let's say average American, even you give a low level energy consumption and compared to average Indians 10 times. That means instead of 350 million people, there are 3,500 million people living in the United States. But average American consumes around about, to certain extent, if you stretch, is 20 times more energy per capita than an Indian. Suppose if you compare with African, even the number is even more. That means actually there are 7 billion people live in the United States. That is almost the population of the planet Earth, little less. That means 700 people per square kilometer. This is very, very important. Here I have given electricity consumption from Dr. Catton's work. ESA consumes, that's kilowatt hours. What that is, as a layperson, we need not worry about it. 12 units we can say. At that time when Catton published his book around about 1980, United States consumed 12,000 something. India consumed 1.2 thousand, 10 times that. This is from Wikipedia I have taken. That's how you calculate how many number of virtual people live in that area. Here, if you look at the satellite map of the United States in the night, you can see the colossal nature of the country in the Biden's land. The southern part is Florida. This is the Jacksonville, one of the prominent city. The entire east coast, the Orlando area will be here somewhere, the Tampa, entire urbanized. West, this is the Orlando, this is the Tampa region, again urbanized. Then you go to major city in the south, Atlanta. South of Appalachian Mountains, again Charlotte and until that's all highly urbanized areas. You go to the coast, this is the Houston, major port city in Texas. Then you can see the Dallas here. Then you can see Waco, you can see San Antonio, and so on. Then you can see the Dallas here, Oklahoma City and Tulsa and so on. Then this is the St. Louis in the Midwest, and this is the Kansas City, Kansas area. This is the Great Lakes, you can see Greater Chicago region here. This is Minnesota, Minneapolis, Twin Cities. North Dakota is glowing a lot because of oil explorations and burning of the natural gas in the night. So this glows up, but not many people live there. Foothills of the Rockies, the Denver, the gateway to Rockies. The Great Plains here and Rockies start. You can see the Utah, the Salt Lake City. Then you see the California Valley, the Bay Area, the San Francisco and so on, the Los Angeles and so on. Then you have the Las Vegas, and you can see the Phoenix and Arizona, El Paso in Texas. Then you go to North Pacific West, to Portland and the Greater Seattle area, and spills over into the Canada, that is the Vancouver City, and so on. If you go to the east, and you can see the capital city, the Washington D.C. and the Baltimore region and Philadelphia and New York, and then Cape Cod, the peninsula, the Boston. Entire area is urbanized in the night, how it looks. Then again the Detroit city goes into the Ontario region of Canada, the Greater Toronto region around the Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, then goes to Ottawa, then Montreal, the St. Lawrence River. See, that means very resource consuming prodigals, Homo colossus-es live there. Lincoln to Biden, 35 million Homo sapiens to 350 million, 10 times Homo colossus. 16th President of United States of America, Abraham Lincoln, held office 61 to 65 and was assassinated. He was 16th president. Fast forward. Then we have 46 president, means 30 president passed. We have 350 million people. That means 30 president, if you give like 5 years for each president, even though the term is 4 years only, some presidents have the second term. That means 30 presidents pass, that means 5 times 156 generations. That means 1862. If you date 150, it becomes 2010. But if you stretch a little bit, 2025. That means almost 6-7 generations. A generation is 25 years. A parents, they married and a child, zygote is conceived. 25 years again is ready to produce a next progeny. That is 25 years is a general age for a generation. Almost 5 plus or 6 generations passed. And America, Lincoln to Biden, 35 million Homo sapiens to 350 million Homo colossus, and the ecological exuberance, emotional exuberance, political exuberance, social exuberance in the era of carrying capacity surplus, when the Europeans landed in the empty vast land, all depleted during the past 400-500 years by today's Homo colossus. That is the human predicament we face and they face. That is about Lincoln to Biden, 35 Homo sapien million to 350 million Homo colossus is the today's presentation by your presenter at South Asia Maps, Dr. J. Reddy. And if you like the presentation and the style of delivery and find it is interesting to you, please consider subscribing our YouTube channel and bring it to the notice of your friends. See you later in other presentations.